Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of the What If South is Up podcast, where we talk about the ups and downs of creating worlds from scratch and all the misadventures we experience along the way. In a nutshell, how to wing it like an author. My name is Derrick Hall. I am the author and creator of the Crimson Prophecy series, of which 4 books are available on Amazon, and I am here with my co-host, Xtina LaFay.
Hello. I'm in the middle of building my first world, a parallel Earth where colonization never happened in the Americas, and rewriting my first novel that has a working title, Cogs and Claws.
Xtina, what are you drinking today?
First, please, everyone, for a moment, let's give a moment of sorrow, because my favorite beerista is no more. He closed his shop. I'm so sad.
That is very disappointing.
Some gasp. It is very. He had too much competition. I mean, there's really nobody else in town. I mean, the nearest one is, 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away, but everyone apparently went there instead.
That is unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate, because I loved going in there and saying, hey, what crazy thing can you have for me tonight? And he knew who I was and what I liked. I'm going to miss that. So
I had a shop like that
beer,
when I lived back east, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah,
it is.
My liquor store's like that now, but they don't carry beer, so.
My liquor store. So I have a little dog, and he rides in my back. He has a special backpack, and when I go around town, he goes in my backpack. And when I go in the liquor store, everyone in the liquor store goes, Wolfie! So they know me well.
Tell me you have a drinking problem without telling me you have a drinking problem.
And or my dog is just really cute.
It's like walking into Cheers where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows Wolfie's name.
Exactly.
Yes. But I'm not drinking beer. I am grasping for this summer to stay around. So tonight it's a margarita for me.
Fair enough.
And what about you?
Well, I was going to be drinking a 2018 Reserve Imperial Stout called The Abyss, but when I took a sip of it, it was very skunked, and now I just have Jack and Peach.
Just. I'm sorry.
This was not sealed with wax and all fancy and, special. It's just Jack and Peach.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I let it sit for too long. That's my fault.
Gasp, sorrows.
Right? More like cough, splutter, cough, gag.
Okay, so, Mr. Derrick.
Yes.
What are you, or have you been reading or watching?
Will White's Cradle series, as always. Might as well make it a co-host at this point. But I am getting closer to the end. So that's in progress. I'm working on a beta read for a friend of mine, which I can't talk about, but it's been very, very interesting and very good so far. And I watched the Ahsoka premiere, the new Disney Plus Star Wars series, and 3 episodes and I'm already over my head. There's a ton to unpack in that show.
Yeah, I knew you were doing this, and so I just started a brand new show. Not brand new show. It's not a new show. New for me. Ragnarok. It's the show. Mm-hmm. It's a Norwegian show. Mm-hmm. But oh man, I want to do the Ahsoka one. Can I do 2 at once?
You can.
Yeah,
you can. There's just the premiere episodes, and then it's 1 a week, so, you can catch up real quick, and it's easy to stay up to date. I want somebody to talk about it with.
Okay. I'll get on it.
I have to ask, though. Have you watched the animated Rebels series?
Yes.
You have watched Rebels?
Yes.
Okay, you're good. Because Rebels is a huge part of Ahsoka.
Well, I've watched half of Rebels.
You might want
to watch all of it.
You might want to finish it.
Okay. All right. It's on my list.
Yep. That's my recommendation. I mean, you'll get
Okay.
the gist, but there's some details that even I was like, huh? And I just finished Rebels like 2 weeks ago for the third time, but still. Anyways, yeah,
My only problem
it's super
with
good.
the only well, the only problem with Rebels is that the animation looks so different than the other Star Wars animations, and so it's a totally different mood. So
I don't have
I don't
a
know.
huge problem with that. It is a different mood. It's lighter. It's a little bit younger than like Clone Wars, but it's so good though. The characters are just absolute fire. But that's Dave Filoni for you. So
Well, there you go.
yeah, dude knows what he's doing. What about you? What have you been reading or watching, since we now know what you haven't been watching?
So I did read something. I read a short story from another native writer, and she was asking for beta feedback. So
Okay, cool.
I did get that, but don't judge me. I haven't been reading anything else. And I really haven't been watching anything else, just the old TV shows playing in the background. Just we've had a couple projects at work that has just made my brain work overtime.
I feel that.
And when I stare at a computer for 7-8 hours straight, and I don't take a break because of my ADD. If I take a break, I can't. It's hard for me to get back into the groove. So I just tend to work straight through. And so, I'm staring at the screen for 7-8 hours, 9 hours, and I get home and my brain's full. So I've just been, doing candy, TV candy and stuff like that. So no judgments.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Chilling like a villain.
Since our last time, what world-building problems have you encountered, or maybe you solved, or you've come up with since our last time we talked about it?
Well,
Derrick?
I'm not sure what most of those words mean, but the thing that I was working on
Neither
trying
am
to
I.
figure out, it happens. The thing I was trying to figure out last episode has been figured out. I'm doing it. I don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm doing it. But this week, my headaches all spawned from the need to decide how much of the world outside of Ketra the average Ketran citizen actually knows about. Like, are there books? Are there stories? Are there maps? Do people just go like, oh yeah, there's a place over there, but whatever, like, and not care? So I got to figure that out, and it's proving troublesome. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I had someone just recently read a little portion of one of my chapters, and they asked me a question. They go, well, so how do crystals work? And I was like, I don't know. So I'm working on that, and also when you read part of my book, you said that I should not call it a mobile house. Because it sounds like a mobile home, and you thought of a trailer. So I was trying to figure out a name, and I came up with a name for them, and I called them nomadidomes.
Gazoon type.
No, yeah. So nomads. They're dome-shaped so nomadidomes. So I like how it sounds.
Now I have a picture of a matador in my head.
Well, because I'm saying it, but if you read it, I think you'd see that it's a nomad, but nomadidome.
Okay, I am looking at our script right now, and when I initially reread it, my initial reaction was she just fell asleep on the keyboard.
Well, you know what? I've made up so many words in my book that a lot of people are going to think that.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like a 3-year-old with a piano, just blah, 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 blah. Hey, that's a name.
Yes. Hope.
I kid. I can read it now that I've heard it, but just trying to read it, I was like, what?
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I like people to stop and think. That's fine.
Yep. All right. So every week we like to share one sentence from our current works in progress, a single sentence with zero context. Then we let you folks know if we're planning to keep it or if we had to watch our darling die. Xtina, are you ready for darlings, dead or alive?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, what you got? Wow me.
So this is actually one that you've read before, and it's from the beginning of my story. I don't know if I'm supposed to give context, but I just want to say that somebody reread my stuff recently, and she's native like I am, so we it was really exciting to share that. But she liked this line, so that's why I picked this line.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. By the time she would get to Alexia, the mountains would go from stark white to hazy purple, and then would tower over her like giants protecting their treasure.
Oh, that's just lovely.
This is lovely.
It's just lovely.
Yeah, so that's what I used. What about you? What do you got?
Oh, I have a line. It's made of words,
Okay.
which are made of letters that I tapped on my keyboard.
Well, you really understand the instructions, don't you?
I understood the assignment.
Yes, you did.
So here we go. I'd rather be uncomfortable now than be eaten by my regrets for the rest of my life.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like
It
that.
feels a little clunky. I might rework it, but
the
the
gist
point
is
is
great.
there.
And the point is there, and sometimes it's okay to be clunky because it's dialogue. You know, we don't always talk the way that we want. We don't always sound the way we think we sound in our head when we talk. It comes out clunky sometimes,
You mean
and
we're
that's
not
part
all
of the
Samuel
character.
Clemens?
Yeah, well, yeah, he was pretty cool, but yes, that's what I mean. And sometimes it helps build a character
Rude.
to have them be a little clunky on their words.
My self-illusion is shattered.
Why? Because I know Samuel Clemens? Or that you're not Samuel
That I'm
Clemens?
It's
Not
sad.
yet, dear.
That's sad.
Not yet.
All right.
You'll be there soon. All right.
Oh, that's the biggest pile of steaming grass-filled horse heard all day.
I mean, it's a lifetime or two away, but you'll be there.
I only get one go.
No,
This
no.
game
it's
is one
called
life and
reincarnation.
permadeath.
Okay.
No do-overs.
Now. Can I do it now?
Do what?
My part, what I'm supposed to do now.
I'm waiting on you.
Okay. Now, on to the point of the show and our favorite game.
Now?
Each week, we roll a d20, which helps us randomly choose from our perpetual list of 20 scenarios.
What about now?
And then we talk, questions. No, not now. 20 questions. And then we talk about how it would affect our made-up ad hoc worlds. You ready to roll?
Now?
Now.
Now.
Oh,
Yes, I'm ready to roll.
okay.
Oh, let's see here. Number 16. What if there was a worldwide catastrophic earthquake or flood?
I'm trying to think how this is a world building question.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I mean, and how magic would affect it. I mean, there's no magic in my world that's specific to solve this problem. And in your world, not everyone knows that something's going to be worldwide.
Bingo. There is magic
I mean,
in my
it
world that could theoretically stop or at least control something like this, but there's only maybe 3 or 4 people strong enough with magic to actually be able to do anything, and they're nowhere near where something like this would be happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, for earthquakes and floods, they'd have to know
You'd have to know it's
it was
coming,
happening beforehand.
which honestly, an
Yeah.
earthquake is probably going to cause a flood. So,
Well, if it's in the middle of the ocean, absolutely, yeah.
or anywhere near the edge of it.
maybe.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, in my world, if there was a catastrophic worldwide event, I think that people would know of it. It would be known, but I don't think that it would be. Wait. I just figured out how this could affect. But this would be the same answer whether it's a worldwide catastrophic event or whether it's something like a pandemic. If a certain population, a certain percentage of the population, high population, were to die on my world, there would be a sudden influx of foundlings from other worlds. And so that would actually greatly affect lots of things. I mean, can you imagine think of it just a microcosm, a classroom.
Okay, so
right.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a question, and it is burning me. Are you saying that the crossover between your world and the adjacent attached worlds is tied to like population balance?
Yes, magical balance.
Interesting.
So whenever
continue,
whenever my world has a dip in a magical ability or a magical type, and the balance needs to be restored, that's when a bridge opens up to another world, to somebody with a specific type of magical ability, and they get sucked over to make the balance in this world work. Well, in my magical world.
Interesting.
So if suddenly there was a huge amount of people that are gone, I was going to use the analogy of a classroom. So at the and a classroom, basically mid-year, everyone knows how to work with each other, blah blah blah. If suddenly a third of the students were gone and a third of brand new students who didn't know the language, the customs, the mores, the same levels of whatever, it would just cause huge chaos. Because now you got to take care of these newcomers, but you need them. I don't know. It would be a hugely chaotic event.
Interesting. Okay, so not to get even more sidetracked, but I could definitely see like a side spin-off isekai sort of thing with like the MC being one of the people who gets sucked through to balance things out. That could be fun.
Well,
you're writing a lit RPG and you didn't even know it.
Well, I hope so.
Based on the market share.
Well, I'm really hoping that my idea, I can expand into other media types and use this IP, this intellectual property, to go into other markets.
Yeah, that could be cool. All right. Sorry to derail.
No, it's awesome because it really does tie into my world at a deep, deep level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly would not have expected that. I was half expecting to call a mulligan on that roll. So with my world, I already mentioned it, there is magic capable of stopping or controlling something like a flood or an earthquake, but there's only a handful of people who are strong enough with magic and know enough about it and are in enough control of their magic to be able to do anything about it. And most of them are all in one place, and that one place happens to be landlocked. So they'd be very far from any other major population center that would actually need their help. Not to say there aren't ways of getting them there, but you have to know it's happening, and getting information across thousands of miles instantaneously is not a thing.
Let alone knowing who to communicate with.
Exactly. Especially when the rest of the world hates you. But as far as the impact something would have on the world as a whole, I'm going to have to narrow that from global to continental, because that's where my story is focused, is on one continent. And that it would be an issue, especially something like an earthquake that caused a tsunami, let's say, would be a big problem because 90% of the population is on the coast. So depending on where it hit, it would either be really bad or sort of bad, but that would be an issue. If it was a regular thing, I could see the population moving further inland eventually, once they got tired of getting wiped out however often. Yeah, this is not tied to my world like it is to yours.
No, so is there anybody in your world that has a strong enough magic to cause a epidemic level catastrophe in your world? I mean, could someone cause a flood that could kill, a good portion of the population?
Theoretically.
And if Inara and her squad know this, could they do anything to mitigate it, or would they?
I think the only one who could actually do that would probably be Inara. And if she did it, it would most definitely be an accident.
So what if the normal people in your world figured out that she's that powerful? Would they do something to...
yeah, 100%. They would probably try to get rid of her.
Subdue her?
Yeah, they would try to get rid of her. But, spoilers and all that. Yeah, the general population is not particularly comfortable with magic. They haven't seen magic or had magic for several thousand years, and it's only been recently returned to the point where anybody with a feel for it can learn it and use it. Up until it was restored, if you wanted to work magic, you were very limited to little tiny things like lighting a candle or that sort of thing, unless you had some sort of relic or artifact that was enchanted that would help you do something. And usually enchantments are very specific. So that was the extent of magic until recently in my world. And now, yeah, you have, I hesitate to say small time, but beginner mages popping up in different places. Inara and Master Adonius have built a magic school in Sevendil to help train these new mages coming in and being like, oh crap, I have talent, what do I do now? I want to pursue this, or I want to learn, or whatever. They have a place where they can go and learn. No, I'm not writing a spin-off Harry Potter wannabe. I'm not doing it. But it does exist. So as far as the general population is concerned, magic is still something new and something to be afraid of.
So what would Inara why did I just forget his name? Adonis. It's not Adonis, it's...
Adonius.
Thank you, Adonius.
You're welcome.
What would they do if they found out somebody had the power to do something like this that wasn't in their crew?
Probably
wasn't in any skinny.
Probably just keep an eye on them. Maybe try to recruit them, lure them in with the promise of knowledge like a freaking Sith Lord, and see what happens. Join me, and together we will rule the galaxy. Yeah. If they encountered somebody with that kind of power and they weren't immediately a threat, it would probably be, hey, how are you? We can help you learn more about this if you want. But if they were immediately a threat, that's a whole different story and gets into the plot line of book 2, and then we have spoilers, and I don't like to spoil things on the podcast. So, yeah.
Did I spoil? I didn't spoil by saying about my world balance thing, right?
No, I didn't know that, and I find it very interesting. Yeah. I mean, it depends on how you use it. That could be a spoiler.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not a really surprise.
Does your plot hinge on that?
No. Well,
if it's a hinge, it could be spoilery.
No, it's not. My plot doesn't hinge on that. The reason why my BBEG, my big bad evil guy, is evil hinges on that, but that's not a plot thing.
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing with my BBEG for book 3. He keeps getting more evilly the more I write him, and he was intended to be the medium bad evil guy. He might end up being the big bad evil guy. I don't know yet. We'll see. He just keeps getting more and more. Just more.
Just more.
Just more. It's bad. But he has earned his place in the evil League of Evil.
The evil League of Evil.
Okay, I have to ask, and this is completely irrelevant, and I'm probably going to just cut it out. But have you ever seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
No. Why would I? No.
You need to.
Okay, see, that's why I would, because I need to. Got it.
You need to. It's a project that Joss Whedon did back during the 07-08 writer's strike. He wrote it, he directed it, he funded it. He just basically called a bunch of friends who were out of work and said, hey, y'all want to do a thing? And they did a thing. So it's Nathan Fillion and Neil Patrick Harris, the Jewish kid from Big Bang Theory.
Wow.
Yeah, you will recognize pretty much everybody in it. And it's amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. It is a musical.
It is going on my...
You can probably find the whole thing on YouTube. It's only an hour long.
So it needs to go on my TBW list.
Yes, very near the top.
Before Ahsoka?
You had to ask that. That's a tough one. I don't know. I didn't say at the top. I said near the top. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's extremely cheesy, extremely campy, extremely low budget, but it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, of course, it's got Neil Patrick Harris in it.
And Nathan Fillion, yes.
Yeah.
So basically, Neil Patrick Harris is a wannabe supervillain who is trying to join the evil League of Evil. And the story is told...
Oh, that's where you got that.
The story is told through video updates to his blog, which is also a tie-in to his character on How I Met Your Mother. But anyways, it's awesome. It's hilarious. I will have to go try to find a link and send it to you. Anyways, have we flooded out our possibilities of more main topic talk?
I think we did good. We wrapped it up pretty well. We thought it was going to be, like you said, a mulligan, and we ended up talking.
We managed to talk about it.
Ish.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. We did talking.
We did talkings. Heap good talkings.
Words we did.
We did his words.
The one right after the other.
In a somewhat coherent order, sometimes. Well, that was fun.
It's always fun.
If you're a world builder, newbie or not, and would like to be on our show, we would love to have you. That includes Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop RPG game masters, writers, authors, anyone who creates worlds. You can let us know by going to our website, whatifsouthisUp.com, and leaving us a message, or you can reach us through our Facebook page.
Also, we are always interested in what if questions to add to our list. If your world has something interesting about it and you'd like to pose it to us and have it posed in our worlds, we'd love to hear from you. So, Mr. Derrick, how can folks find you?
I am Derrick Hall, and my website is derrickhallauthor.com, which you can find me as D Hall Author on the Clock app, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, just about anywhere else. I refuse to touch the app formerly known as Twitter, so you can ignore me over there.
Yeah, I'm
Xtina, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at uniquelyxtina.com and just about on any of the socials as uniquelyxtina.com. And if I'm not on a social as uniquelyxtina.com, please let me know because I will do it. I will.
It's a lot to keep up with after a while.
You know, all I need to do is register my name. I don't have to do anything else.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, and I'm on YouTube, so you can go find that there too. I've got some cool, like, book theory videos and stuff like that, although I haven't touched it for a while.
Yeah, the last time I did anything on YouTube was tarot, so haven't done that in a while.
Oh, fun.
Stupid working full-time.
Fun.
Working full-time sucks.
Yes, it does. Believe it.
And you too can work full-time.
No, writing is a full-time job in and of itself.
It is. So, you know, don't give me no crap, people. I'm trying. Anyways.
It might look like I'm sitting at a computer browsing Facebook, but in reality, I'm writing a book. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I think that's
Well,
it.
this has been an absolute nightmare, and I hope we never do it again.
You liar, pants on fire. Fun times.
Yes. Good times.
Good time.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Day, morning, afternoon.
Whenever you're listening to this,
you
but
listen
thank
to
you.
this.
Yeah, thank you just for listening.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's night for us.
Yeah. Night.
Here we go again. Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of the What If South is Up podcast, where we talk about the ups and downs of creating worlds from scratch and all the misadventures we experience along the way. In a nutshell, how to wing it like an author.